Good morning, guys. I hope you're having a good day and you had a good weekend. Well, we are here because we need to reinforce more the English. This doesn't mean that we don't know the language or that we can't learn the language or understand the language. It is because we need to reinforce more or change the method or the process of teaching and learning English. First of all, on this day, I need you guys to read a little and listen a little about the importance of the English in our life, okay? That it's not only a subject for school, and trust me, I know it because of my experience. The English opens a lot of doors through life. It is easier to get a goal or to do something that we wished for here in Mexico if we can speak the language, especially here in Juarez, because remember that we live in border with USA, and it is very, very important to know the language as our first language, like Spanish. So here are different facts of why you guys have to learn English. First of all, you guys are about to go to college. Remember that if you want to go to college and you want to get a degree on science, or you want to be a lawyer, or you want to be a teacher, or probably a doctor, well, you are going to need here this language or the knowledge of this language to get the degree. Or else, imagine that you're studying here in Juarez and you want to go to study on Italy, or you want to go to study to USA, then what are you going to do if you don't know the language? The English language is the third most common language spoken around the world. This language of English is also spoken and taught in over 118 countries throughout the world. And it is the language more important for science, technology, tourism, internet also. So if you go to China on a travel, or you're going to China to study and you don't know how to speak the language from China, then you can speak English, and that will be the second language that in China and most part of the world can speak to communicate with you. So you need to understand that we're not focusing on the English to just go to the other semester or go to college. The language, it is a basic tool to can reach our goals. If we want to do something in our personal or professional life, we need to develop the language not only on basic grammatical rules like the verb to be, but we need to connect our thoughts with our mouth and start to speak it, okay? I know some of you may say, I don't understand nothing that you're saying. Okay, that is the most easiest part of the most easiest way to say, I can't speak English, I don't know it. But what happens if you listen to an audio and then you go and put it and translate it in Spanish, and that way you are exercising your ear to learn the language. So why is it important too? Well, here it is. Number one, English is a language of international communication. So if you go here in America, or you go to Africa, or you go to Asia, or you go to Europe, then this is the language, the second language. Your Spanish is your first language, and then you're going to have the English language, which is going to be the way that people through all the continents can communicate. Number two, English gives more access to more entertainment and more access to internet too. What does this mean? It means that we can develop ourselves in professional and personal way. What happens if you go study in college and you can't find a book in Spanish? Well, 52% of the most important information on the internet are in English. And if you can't find information in Spanish, but you do find it in English, it is very important that you guys have the ability of reading comprehension to understand a book in English, such as you are going to listen to read it and understand it in Spanish. Also, just for personal or for entertainment. Okay, what happens if you guys go, as I was telling you, to USA to study in college, and you guys need to have new relationships with people from USA or you guys need to go to a party and everyone is having fun and talking and laughing, and you're not because you don't know how to speak English. Well, first you need to understand that English is a very important tool for personal and professional development. English makes it easier to travel. That's what I was telling you too. It makes easier to travel and communicate. And if you have questions, or even if you go to a restaurant, what's going to happen if you go to study to the Arizona, and you have a girlfriend there in Arizona, and you go to a restaurant, and then comes a waitress and says, "What are you guys going to order? Hello, what are you going to eat?" And you're like, Well, you need to learn how to speak it for easy decisions or very simple things that are going to make your life easier too, and have better experiences. Okay? English makes you happier, and not only English, another language that you want to learn is going to make you happier. Why? Because it's going to open more doors through the world. Let me tell you my experience as a teacher. I lived here in Juarez, and when I was 7 years old, I went to Denver, Colorado to live over there and study elementary for 3 years. I came back here and I got to 6th grade. When I was in 6th grade, my English wasn't very useful because we didn't have English here in elementary. But when I went to middle school, we had the English subject. So it was very easy for me to do the homeworks, and guess what? I got money by doing homework of the persons that didn't understand English, and I helped them to do the homework they didn't understand, not by doing it, but by explaining to them after school. They came to my house, I explained to them the homework, and that way they paid me for explaining extra after school that language. And then when I got to middle school, it was the same thing. I won money by teaching English, and then I noticed that here in UACJ, in the College of here in Juarez, you can do a test, and they are going to give you a degree certifying that you know how to speak English. And when I was only 18 years old, I got the certificate. I started studying college on education, and that way, since I was 18 years old, I started to be a teacher. Now I have about 4 years and a half teaching English, and trust me, it is one of the most wonderful decisions of my life. So I hope you guys can understand this a little bit. And this is not the speaking of any teacher. I'm speaking it because of my experience, and I want you guys to be successful persons, and to make your goals happen. So I need, please, as a homework, that you guys grab a sheet and write, what is your plan, your life plan, or what are your goals in 10 years from here 2020 to 2030. 10 years. If you guys are 15, 16 years old, what are you going to be doing when you will be 25 or 26? Okay, then when you finish it, you send me the picture, and we are going to analyze tomorrow if with English your goals are going to be easier to reach or not. Okay, so this will be all for the work of today. I hope you guys didn't have sleep with this speaking, and we'll see you tomorrow. And remember, 10 years from here to 10 years, what is your life going to be like? Bye.